We're three best friends, and we love Lost. And we love talking, but even more so, we love talking about Lost. So join us for some laughs, good conversation, and let's get lost together. Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Get Lost with your Oceanic Trio. Me, Sunny Side Up, 42. We've got Jack Lover, 92.
Hello.
Kipper Stayed. And then we have Kate 88. Hello. Also known as Amanda. And today we're talking about episode 15. And it is called
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
The Homecoming King and Queen.
Do we have that here? I feel like we don't.
No.
I don't think no.
Who? Well, the Homecoming Queen would be Claire in this episode. But who's the Homecoming King?
Not
Charlie, I guess.
I would give it to Locke.
Maybe that's a sneak peek into the ratings.
I think it's just means coming home in this one, you know?
I'm coming home.
Exactly.
Okay, how about a synopsis?
Yes.
Hear what Homecoming's about.
Homecoming is written by Damon Lindelof, which is very exciting because Damon Lindelof is phenomenal in every way, and directed by Kevin Hooks. After many days, Claire is finally found. While walking in the jungle, Jin and Charlie are confronted by Ethan Rom, who gives an ultimatum. Bring Claire to him, or one of the islanders will die each day. A trap is set up to catch Ethan using Claire as bait, but when Boone falls asleep on sentry duty, the results are tragic. So we could have cut out about 20% of it.
Why are you laughing?
Because for some reason...
Why are you laughing?
Because
Because you make me laugh. But I don't know why.
Because the synopsis started.
What?
Hold on. I can't stop laughing. It's because the synopsis started so dramatic, and then she started smiling through it when it got really, really dramatic, which was like kind of weird. And you could hear her like smiling. And I'm like, why when it got more intense is it funnier? Like, it's so weird.
Well, honestly, I was laughing.
I told you.
Because these synopses are ridiculous.
They are.
Like, can you explain to me, like, this? Okay, I'm gonna you know what?
Okay,
It's a new thing we're gonna do.
Okay,
I'm gonna rewrite it the way it should have been. Okay.
Can you reread it first,
Yeah.
because I forget now.
So this is the official, like, Lost
But please do it with like a
DVD.
consistent tone, please.
The box set DVD synopsis. So I consider this like the official synopsis, okay? Mm-hmm. After many days, Claire is finally found. While walking in the jungle, Jin and Charlie are confronted by Ethan Rom, who gives an ultimatum. Bring Claire to him or one of the islanders will die each day. A trap is set up to catch Ethan using Claire as bait. But when Boone falls asleep on sentry duty, the results are tragic. Okay, rewrite.
That's in the wrong order, too.
100%. After many days, Claire is finally found. While walking in the jungle, Jin and Charlie are confronted by Ethan Rom, who gives an ultimatum. Dead stop there. You don't need to say what the fucking ultimatum is.
Yeah.
A trap is set up to catch Ethan using Claire as bait.
Yeah.
I would cut out that part. There's 2 points there.
Way too misleading.
Mm-hmm.
And there's it's too much detail. So literally, Jin and Charlie are confronted by Ethan Rom, who gives an ultimatum. Cut off the rest of that.
Yeah.
And a trap is set up to catch Ethan using Claire's bait. Cut off the rest of that.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. Let's keep it simple and snappy, guys. Let's not give the whole fucking farm away.
Because, I mean, the Boone falling asleep, what was tragic about that?
Well,
Somebody died.
Scott died.
Sorry,
but that is
Scott.
not when they decided to use Claire's bait.
Way after.
That.
Exactly. It's totally wrong order.
So it's wrong order, and it's too much. Like, a synopsis is supposed to give enough information to get you interested in watching it.
Yeah.
But not so much that there's no fucking point in watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm just going to Google Lost Homecoming. And let's see what the synopsis comes up on Google. The joy at Claire's safe return is short-lived when Ethan pounces on Charlie, threatening to kill off all the survivors one by one unless she's returned to him. The camp set up an alarm system and sentry duty to protect her, but when Boone takes his turn to guard, he takes a nap and is awoken by Claire's screams. Also not true.
That is true.
Claire wasn't screaming on the beach. It was just somebody who found that dead body.
Correct.
True.
And he wasn't
He's
awoken by the scream.
screams.
No, he was awoken by the thing crashing down.
Correct. And also, like, again, why are we giving so much away? Guys?
You know what? I think Disney Plus actually got it right this time. Are you ready?
Okay.
Ethan threatens to kill unless Claire's returned to him.
Yeah.
They really don't like to give a very long synopsis on Disney
No, but
Plus.
I mean, that's everything, right?
That's the best one they've had. So far.
Clearly, Claire has come back. Clearly, he wants her back. The end.
100%.
No details, no nothing.
Well, there was some good build up for this episode because it went up to 19.5 million viewers.
Oh, dang.
So higher than the last few, quite a few.
Yeah, because the last ones were
18-ish, 17-ish. Days 27 to 29 on the island. Oh, yeah. 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Good rating. Good episode.
How many nicknames did Sawyer get this episode?
I heard Haas.
Yeah, that's one.
he called her. He called Ethan something.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so 3, because I'm counting when he calls Jack Doc.
Yeah,
Because that's kind of like an endearing. Well,
and no one calls him doctor.
no,
like
exactly.
ever.
All right, you guys ready for trivia?
No.
Okay. I feel like you're going to get these. Every character appears in this week's episode. What was the last episode where this happened?
Oh, shit. I don't even know what they're called. Dun, 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 dun. That all cowboys have daddy issues.
Incorrect.
What? Oh, it doesn't sound as good. Have you seen my son?
Oh, that's a good one.
When Claire was kidnapped.
No, incorrect. Episode 5, White Rabbit.
No.
Yes.
That one.
Well, Claire's missing from like half of
A lot.
them,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I guess that
But
makes sense.
And so that's 10 episodes ago because this is episode 15. That's crazy.
That's intense, actually.
Yeah. Okay, question number 2. Who considers this episode, and this is one of the main people of Lost, who considers this episode, Homecoming, to be their least favorite episode of the entire series?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Dominic Monaghan.
Incorrect.
He should.
Have you seen my son?
Incorrect. Oh, sorry.
It's not Michael.
Interesting.
Locke.
Well, no.
No. Sorry.
Terry O'Quinn?
Terry O'Quinn.
No. Okay, so I'll give you a hint. It's not an actor.
Oh.
Dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Is it J.J. Abrams?
No. One more chance.
Have you seen my son?
Okay.
Carlton Cuse.
Incorrect. Damon Lindelof.
The writer?
The writer.
He
So
was
he
going to be
wrote
my
it?
last my choice after Carlton.
So he says it was flawed on almost every single level that an episode of Lost could be. His frustration owed to the wrong decisions on expanding the Charlie character, given that they were once again exploring the drug addiction angle instead of something new.
I don't see how he... I think that's quite harsh.
It seems very
I wouldn't
harsh.
say it's what's wrong with Lost on every...
No.
I did... and I'm going to talk about this because... but it's kind of an interesting segue before we get into Teresa's main segment there. I have something to say about these flashbacks, though, and I can kind of see where he's going with that because I really didn't understand the point of them at first.
Okay, that's interesting. I have something to say with that later as well. Sorry, excuse me.
I will periodically interject on the things that you say later.
Phenomenal. Business as usual. All right. But business as usual means it's time for Teresa's stream of consciousness.
Amanda, I think we should introduce that a little bit better.
Okay.
Like, let's sing it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
And a
curious
1,
as to
and
what
a 2,
is gonna happen.
and a 1, 2, 3. It's time for Teresa's stream of consciousness.
Also,
That's amazing. Also,
Also,
but like,
Take
you
it
didn't-
away.
she didn't even help. She did
I
not.
didn't know I thought we were just going to be like, Teresa's stream of consciousness.
oh, I like that.
I was gonna say, like, I was very curious to see how it was gonna go because it's not like you guys had chosen a melody.
No,
No,
I
we
didn't even know what we were saying for words yet.
We chose nothing.
You guys chose the exact same words.
Matt and I like to do things on the
Yeah.
fly.
Teresa's stream of consciousness.
I forget what I did.
That's what I gotta keep. See, this is what I'm saying.
Also.
Snappy, quick. Snappy, quick. like the synopsis should be. I'm really here to streamline the process.
Yeah, apparently. Alrighty.
Okay, continue, Teresa.
Yes, okay. It starts with, is she okay? Is she alive? Whoa, she very pregnant. Okay, but are you okay though? Uh-oh. So all you know, I am choosing my pizza over my stream today. I don't understand how memory loss works. Okay, this is sad. Jin doesn't know anything, and she does. That's sad. Pizza makes me unwilling to be gracious today. Locke's creepy look, -10. Boon's incessant questioning, -10. Is that Claire's cup? Whose cup is she drinking from? Like, how cute are they, though? But why are you staring at her like that? I don't like Charlie in that hat, either. Tommy feels like a stalker. What's going on here? And why is Tommy still just staring? Everybody just stares. Oh, Charlie, you learned Korean. Should we all learn? What's that? Oh my God. Also, Jan. Oh, hell no. I'm gonna cry. Is Ethan superhuman? Remember when those checkered bands were in style? Also, did I already comment on Jin's superhuman hearing? Because that was intense. Jack, you can't kill anyone. Locke, again, the only rational person here. Because yes, Locke is the only sane one here. For the most part. But poor Jin. Killing someone seems kind of brutal, though. But I do see the dilemma. What's with Charlie's creepy, far-off looks today? Is Charlie wearing that hat because the lady lives in the most old-school house? I am so confused. Oh, hey, Kate. Oh, bearer of fruit. Isn't everyone a little hungry because, you're on an island? I don't know how he looks hungry, but whatever. Wait, how do you plan on killing Ethan? Nice work, Locke and Saeed. Just doing the do. This Bach loon sitch is weird. Charlie, calm down. Charlie, something about someone being dead. Who was Tommy to them again? You know what? Good for him. For getting a job, though. Oh, I see. I get it. Or how are they lighting these fires? Everyone looks on guard except for Boone. Oh, hey. Oh, there you go. He done goofed again. His cheeks are always so rosy. Oh my God, did Boone trip the alarm? Oh no, wait, it was Vincent. Oh my God, is he dead? Who was it? Was it Scott? Was it Steve? The hypochondriac? Why is Charlie being creepy again? Steve, no! Goddamn Steve, why? Why? Oh wait, Scott, it's Scott. Scott, why? Scotty, no. Also, I'm so sorry for calling you Steve. Shannon, are you going to prom? Why do you look like that? Oh man, I get he's trying to help her, but I'm not sure that was the way. Well, he looks ill and old. Well, I don't get what these things are. Charlie, put it back. She's so nice and she's helping you out. It's rude. Locke, yes, again, also, Jack, stop volunteering people to do shit for you. I'm not sure guns are the solution, though. Someone's gonna find these, Jack. It's poor hiding. Of course, Locke knows how to do this. He's a former Weebelo. Do not give Charlie a gun. He's very, very hot-headed right now. I do like the ukulele in music in the back right now. And the stopwatch, though. Ew. Imagine what that copy looks like that he just made. Has Jack ever used a gun? Oh, that bicep. Yowza. Of course you want to come, Kate. Of course. Oh, wow, Sawyer. 5 guns. Give it to the murder criminal, Jack. Please do. You don't know how she killed her, the love of her life. Charlie, stop staring. Everyone just keeps staring. I hate it. Is anyone else glad that Michael and Boone aren't coming along today? I'm actually very surprised Michael isn't losing his shit, honestly. You're all very visible. You're not hiding very well. Oh my God. Ethan moves like he's from the ring. Everybody, get there faster. The other man is a tank. Oh, wait. Jack's now superhuman. Sexy, but also, thank you, Locke, for checking on Claire. For God's sake. Wow, Jack, wow. And Sawyer. Jesus, take the wheel. Goddamn, I can't. Oh my God. Charlie, now you done goofed, bro. Now you're a murderer. Charlie, have you seen Saeed's techniques? He's brutal. I feel like Charlie is too much. Oh, Hurley in his headphones. Oh, and Jin and Sun are spooning. What the fuck is Shannon and Saeed? And then Charlie staring again. Aw, Claire's so nice. She's too nice to him. He's weird. I feel like I gotta go back to this, like, obsession he's got going on. Feels really menacing from all the staring. Oh, and the episode's over. Okay. The end.
Amazing as usual. My favorite part being when you said that Charlie done goofed.
Boone.
Or Boone, sorry. Boone had done goofed.
He did. I mean, everybody else was standing. He was the only one sitting
Why
down.
would he sit?
Like, oh my God.
He just can't keep it together.
He really just stop volunteering.
But he
can't
wants
do it.
to do such good work.
But he keeps done good.
Man.
He's so, so beautiful.
And Scott paid for his mistake.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that
No,
would've been a
that's not
goner
true.
anyway.
That's not true because they said Ethan came in from the water and they were
I'm
not.
just saying, maybe someone was posted by the water, maybe one of those guys, but then they were like, someone's over here, and then they were lured away.
I think the implication is that they
no
didn't
one-
appreciate how scary he was and that he could come from the water.
I think the implication is that Boone done goofed.
He did done goof.
Also, I don't actually think that Scott paid for his mistakes. I think Scott was
Forget
just...
what I was gonna-
I mean, that part was funny when it's not funny, but they still didn't know if it was Steve or Scott.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I genuinely thought it was Steve.
Like, think about this for a second. You're on an island with these people, trapped for 27 to 29 days, depending on where this was and that kind of. And you're killed because this is fucked up. And these fuckers can't even
Don't
tell
even
it first
know
if you're
your
Scott or
name.
Steve. Some of them. That's sad. That's the real tragedy.
I mean,
of this island.
Sawyer knew who it was.
No,
No,
Sawyer
he said
didn't.
the wrong
He's the one who
name.
said the wrong one. Hurley's one. It was Scott.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
Okay,
see?
I can't figure
Was
it out.
it Scott though?
It was Scott.
It was Scott.
Because I remember... Hold on.
It might be Steve. Steve is dead.
no, it's
No, they say it's Scott, but maybe it was actually Steve. Hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Hard to say.
I don't know now.
Okay, and it's time for Dan's hot take, and we have Dan here at the table. So tell us what you thought of Homecoming.
I would say it's another good episode. This goes in the good pile, especially based on the Michael episode that we recently had that I also really enjoyed. I thought this was another good, I wouldn't say best episode ever, but this is where I feel like it's building good momentum episode to episode and just having some good storylines and some good backstories, and now it's making sense.
Okay, good. So what were some standout moments for you?
Standout moments in this one, I have in my notes here that Claire's memory loss when she comes back to the group, and I don't quite know. I was trying to figure out maybe how that happened, and I'm trying to think, did Ethan or whatever group Ethan is with give her some sort of jungle potion or something that would have given her like temporary memory loss while they were, say, walking her back or as she escaped. So trying to quite figure that out, but then just thinking how heartbreaking that was for Charlie to kind of lose everything that he had built with Claire because of that memory loss. For him to not only lose the friendship, but kind of the love that was starting to really build between them. I really felt for Charlie. And then naturally, this being a Charlie episode, I think playing into his backstory, I actually really enjoyed getting to understand Charlie a little bit more beyond just kind of the washed up band member kind of persona or previous backstory that we got, that it goes deeper than that. So I definitely enjoyed that. Now, I don't know how Ethan is quite so superhuman. It's almost like he's the Hulk, the way he's able to throw people up against a tree and just, anyways, and just like the claws on his face, like he just seems to almost be, some sort of superhero almost in the strength that he has. But going back to Charlie, I actually had to laugh because at first I thought Charlie was a gigolo. I thought that was the direction that they were going, and then realizing that, first of all, I didn't see that coming, and then realizing, okay, it wasn't a gigolo, it was actually just a thief to get that expensive item from the house. So that was actually a pretty interesting backstory. I thought that was pretty good on their part, and I was a little sad that he didn't put it back. I was expecting him to, right before he goes up for the job interview, to be able to make an excuse and go to the bathroom or something and hang behind and leave it back or something. So now I had to laugh when Boone is staring into the fire because I myself have done that before. And I don't think there are a few things that make you as sleepy as staring into a fire for a while. And I instantly started to get tired for that, like 10 seconds that they showed that.
So you don't blame Boone.
I do not blame Boone for falling asleep, because I think that's happened to all of us at bonfire or anything like that where we're staring into it. I could see myself doing that. So the person that dies, I don't remember him. I had to ask you, and you gave me a refresher. I do not remember. And I didn't quite understand what they said about him coming from the water. At first, I was trying to think, did this mean Ethan came from the water?
That's what they were inferring.
Okay, because did the body wash up from the water?
They inferred that the perimeter wouldn't have mattered because Ethan somehow came up from the water.
Okay, so that makes sense. So, obviously very unfortunate that someone dies, but it obviously spurs them to finally use the guns to be able to. And this is where, obviously, I'm not a person for guns. I would not say I'm anywhere remotely pro-gun. In this situation, they are being attacked and terrorized, and now there are being people killed. So just to be able to have their own sense of security and safety, it's not like they're hunting down this person to just get revenge for something. It's truly because he's made it quite clear that someone will die every day unless. So I thought it was an appropriate use of those guns. I thought that was an appropriate call on Jack's part to be able to finally. I was a little shocked that it took this long. That it took someone dying to actually do it. But I would agree that this was a part where, they had to get some safety under control, because, it would be pretty scary. They're so vulnerable. And I just trying to remember, whether you're sleeping in the cave or sleeping on the beach, you'd be so vulnerable to anything at night. Mm-hmm. And then how sad it is that the most vulnerable thing you are is that it's another human that's, terrorizing the group. So
what did you think of Charlie killing Ethan?
I was very surprised at that caught me off guard. But then I got angry at him because 100% what Jack said, finding out where he comes from. Is there other people? Why are they doing this? I wanted to know those questions, and now I feel like that's a lead that's just completely gone. But then the more I thought about it on the flip side, I guess they'll see whether this takes care of things. Maybe someone else will now show up. But if this just kind of ends that, and now they have the piece back, I guess that is worth something. But obviously it was a very emotional response from Charlie. And also, he tried to kill Claire. He tried to kill him. Obviously this was a very bad person. And I also don't know if he would have really said anything. And there's a chance that he could have gotten away. So I don't know. It's a coin toss of whether that was appropriate. I did make a mental note while watching this episode. I finally was able to place where I think they were styling Kate. They very much just made her like Laura Croft Tomb Raider, because she's always wearing cargo pants and a tight shirt. And she just very much has that 2000s Laura Croft Tomb Raider look. And all the action scenes that she's in, I can just see the previews now that this would have made really good preview material for network television back in the day.
So what would you rank this out of 10?
I would give this one probably another 8. I think that's what I gave the last episode. So I would say 8 out of 10. Just, it
was really growing on you.
I would say so. And this is the type of episode that I think is good. A little bit of backstory, but then good plot development on the island. So it strikes the right chord. I know I said at the beginning that I wasn't a big fan of the backstories.
Like the flashbacks?
The flashbacks. But I like these type of flashbacks versus like the Kate flashbacks,
well,
the Jack flashbacks. Like these ones I've actually found these flashbacks with both Michael and now Charlie actually more interesting than their first flashbacks or some of the other characters' flashbacks towards the beginning of the season.
Okay, cool. All right. Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. I'm actually looking forward. This is now where I'm getting into the pace where I would look forward to
next
tuning
episode.
In. Good job, ABC.
Okay, thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate your thoughts as always.
I should say before we get into it that for for the first time ever, the three of us sat in a room and watched an episode together.
The very first time.
Yes. So we were very good. We wrote our little notes and we didn't discuss really as it was going, but there were a few reactions, that you just can't hide.
Don't look at me during.
I'm not.
During. Teresa had the most visceral reactions, but
Yes.
understandable given the...
That's how it is all the time.
Yeah. And there were some comments about Charlie's hat.
Yes.
That really got the most reaction.
No, it did not. It was that rain scene.
Oh, we'll get
That's
there.
what I was
We'll
going
get
to
there.
say. When you said, why does he move like he's in the ring? I was like, oh my God, yes. That's the
was
perfect
so
description. It
weird.
was so scary.
Yeah, it was.
But it was nice to watch it with you guys because it was like, even though we didn't talk about it because we were saving our discussion for this, it was just like a nice experience. I want to do it again.
I know I can't wait to do it again. That was a really
might
fun.
watch alone.
No.
Because I hear the giggling.
We're gonna hear the giggling eventually, anyways.
Yeah, you hear
Your
it.
reactions are great. They're great. They're our favorite thing.
Yeah, that's why
Give
we...
the people what they want.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
let's get into
Can
it.
we talk about the flashbacks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do have something to say at the end.
Okay,
The flashbacks are fucking stupid, though.
Okay, thank you. Because that's what
didn't
I was going to say. I don't understand these flashbacks.
I think it was just a
I
very...
don't get the point.
Yeah. Well, I
I
think it
got
was
the point, but not until the end.
same, but I think it was just a
still don't
very
get the point.
round, like it was just a very like drawn out.
So
Okay.
I wrote down. So so we get, just to kind of go through it, the way we should. Essentially, we start out with Charlie. He's doing the drugs, and we eventually learn out that this is after he's gone to see, presumably after he's gone to see Liam in his last flashback, right?
Wouldn't this be before? Because wasn't he getting on the plane?
Oh, right. So this is, yes, because his daughter was older.
Yeah, he just had
So he
the
had just
daughter.
had a baby. He's living the good life, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. And Charlie seems to be involved. Like, who is Tommy?
That's what I don't
Yeah.
Did
really
we
get.
find out any more about Tommy
I'm
later?
wondering if he's supposed to be one of the band members.
Or like his dealer.
I was thinking maybe his pimp.
Like that's what I don't really get. Like I don't know who this person is.
He seems very strange.
He was just like very unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. And this idea, I guess, is that this Tommy fellow helps him like target. Sorry, I don't know. This Tommy
That sounds far too
fellow
polite
That
for...
Tommy Billy.
helps him target women of means and wealth so he
Sorry.
can seduce them and then steal from them, which is like just absolutely ridiculous. But fuck, whatever. That's what Charlie's doing with his life now, apparently.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I guess he's hit rock bottom.
Yeah, but it's
Not
a very
really,
calculated
though.
rock
Yeah,
bottom. Like,
I know.
Just go rob a liquor store, Charlie.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand what's
This is
this
so
like maniacal.
specific.
Yeah.
And he like clearly gets in with them.
Yeah.
Like this is like he's like, it's basically Sawyer without the finesse.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's trying to con her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a rehash, but like not as good.
Yeah, he's like the dollar store.
The dollar store version of
Sawyer.
But also still a druggie.
Yeah. And Sawyer's not a druggie.
No.
So they're doing this, whatever, and then we see this glimpse of like the one where they're at dinner and he's being more real with them and he's being upfront and honest, and it's supposed to, I think, symbolize that like he does want to try and he does want to live a normal life and he does care about her, and then he fucks it up
Yeah.
and pukes in a fucking coffeer. All of this, I should say, to get to one very specific point.
Can I guess the point?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking I get it, but I think it's stupid if it is. Is the point to be that this is like he wants to take care of?
Right.
He's got this random, maybe it's not random, but this like he feels he needs to be able to take care of people. And in this instance, he was hoping it would be Lucy. And then in the island, I spilled my tea on my notes. And then on the island, Claire. But it's just like,
Oh yeah, and I wrote that exactly. I was like, I was wondering what the fuck the point of these
Yeah.
flashbacks was until we get the like fight between them, which I think we could have gotten to somewhere else, and her being like, and him being like, I just want to take care of you, and her being like, take care, you'll never be able to take care of anyone, and clearly that's his like thing now, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, I was told I'll never be able to take care of a woman, and now I have this woman that I need to take care of, and then I did let her get away, and it was my fault, and now I have to make it fucking right.
yeah. And it's just like, it wasn't, didn't play out as well as it could have. If that's
I agree.
If that's the idea of why he is the way he is with Claire in this episode and in other episodes, that he has this urge to take care of her because he likes her and they're very cute together and she likes him, etc. But like, we need to see more of why he feels that way.
Agreed.
100%. It also is a long walk for a short drink of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
I think they probably could have done it a different way. Like, I don't know that we needed to have this whole elaborate scheme unless Tommy comes in later, which I don't
think so. I don't remember him.
But like, it could have been anything else. Like, I don't even really believe their relationship enough that he would want to like get a job for her and like clean up for her without doing anything else, because all we know is that he picked her up at a bar. She buys him things. She brought him to dinner.
I just think, like, I do, because the flashbacks, as we know, always serve a purpose. And it usually becomes abundantly clear, like, a little bit earlier on. They either, like, they either parallel with the storyline on the island, or they drive the character development, or both.
Yeah.
But in this one, I see where they were going. It was to show why he is so,
Obsessive
adamant about
almost.
taking care of Claire. Quite candidly, I think I would have felt, I think we're supposed to see that. So when we eventually see him shoot Ethan essentially in cold blood, that we can understand why he did it. Quite honestly, I could understand why he would do it just based on the on-island things, right?
Exactly. I made that note too. Like, it would be more believable if he talked more about how Ethan almost fucking killed him. And he was
And then stole
strung
his
from a
girlfriend.
tree.
Yeah.
And then he stole his girlfriend. And it's like, based on that, why, like, killing him and then saying, why would you want someone like that, where it took 5 of you to get him down, just to have him around us?
So the only thing I can think of is that it's not quite on the nose about that, but it's also just about like Claire forgetting who he was and them not wanting him to come along on the thing. I think it's just supposed to show, I think he's essentially like how we view Boone is how he views himself, which is
Kind of useless.
I can't do anything. They won't take me with them. I'm the one who lost Claire. Now Claire doesn't remember me. She doesn't want to be around me. They won't let me have a gun. They won't let me come with them. And this is just how I always felt, like helpless and useless in my life. And every time I try to make it right or get straight, something gets in the way.
I did think that they really should have included Charlie. I mean, even though he was being very irrational and almost like throwing fits like a teenager, but given his history with Ethan, they should have tried somehow to include Charlie because he has a stake in it, a pretty major stake, given what happened.
100%, but that's Jack's MO, right?
Yeah.
Which is I make the decisions and I make the choices and I decide what's important to people, and you're too irrational and I'm in control and I'm calm and I'll decide that you can't come. I feel like I was surprised Locke didn't push more for him to come, because Locke is usually about like, hey, if they want to come, they want to come, and it's their business, so they should exactly what you said. He has a stake in it. So
I mean, I don't know. I kind of see why I can see why Locke would want him to not come. Like, this is not going to be therapeutic. Like, he's obviously very emotional. Everything anybody says, he has like an outburst too. Like, you don't really want to give that kind of person like a gun for that exact reason.
And that's just it. Like, maybe not give him a gun, but have him included in some way.
Maybe like stake out. Maybe he's just in a tree. Maybe he should have been in the tree instead of Saeed, so he didn't have to climb all the way down.
Why would Saeed go all the way up?
My
into
God.
the tree?
He's just
He needs
slowly
quick access.
like, put Charlie up there, Saeed below him. Like, do something else. But yeah, I think he could have been involved, but I definitely would not have given him a gun.
But also, how funny is it that, I shouldn't say funny, how annoying is it when Jack's like, do you know how to use a gun? It's like, Jack, do you?
I know.
Right?
Like, you're a doctor, and do we have no reason to believe that you know how to use a gun? And yet you're the doler out of the guns?
Oh.
So there's some.
So let's go back, because I have so many things to say about once the guns get introduced that I don't want it to overshadow kind of our usual. So the flashbacks, I think we went through enough. We get the point. It's entirely unnecessary to a degree. I learned nothing about Charlie other than he's a douchebag, and I would have accepted Charlie shooting. Well, we'll talk about it later. I shouldn't say I would accept it. I think Charlie was wrong to shoot Ethan, but I can understand why he did it without the flashbacks.
Agreed. Yeah.
The flashbacks were just so drawn out. Like, it just didn't add enough to the story that, like...
To me, it didn't really add anything. Like you say, man, we didn't learn anything new about Charlie. And his reasonings for wanting to take, quote unquote, take care of Claire were very obvious and have been said many times before this without having to have some woman who was the target of his con tell him, you'll never take care of anyone.
Also, why... you want to take care of her so you get a job, but you don't do anything else to try to take care of her. But she takes care of you.
Yeah, she buys him all this stuff.
Yeah, like, to get the job that you took to take care of her. Like, it all just seems like very, like...
Well, he's clearly going through withdrawal at that point and not really thinking straight.
I mean, I feel bad for him. Like, that does suck. Like, addiction is not, that's rough.
No, and he absolutely was trying. Like, I think that's clear. Mm-hmm. And I don't fault him for trying, but he has to be more upfront with the people in his life. Not everyone, it's not everyone's business. But if he cares and wants to take care and he wants this thing, he has to take care of himself, and he needs her help to do that first.
Exactly.
And then in the long run, they can take care of each other.
I'd be curious what the royalty issues are that he said he's having from the band. Like, I can't remember if they ever explained that. It's like, why wouldn't he get royalties? He wrote all the songs.
I think they do address it later.
I think so too, and I think
okay.
Either their manager or his friend, I think they essentially fuck him out of it.
Right, okay, yeah.
Or he might have even, like, signed it away or something. I can't remember. But I think they do address it later.
Okay.
Beginning back at the beginning of the episode, we were awakened by Claire's return, and Charlie is obviously
thrilled, but worried.
And we see that she has no memory, which is...
Well, also, Locke said she passed out and he carried her for a mile. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A pregnant lady.
Yeah.
Wow.
Locke's pretty cool.
Why didn't Boone help?
Boone just trailed behind asking questions. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Where'd she come from? What's going to happen to her? Is she hurt? Where'd she come from? Where do you think she was? Where's Ethan? Like a little lost.
Boone, help me.
Yeah, Boone, I can't lift her.
I would love an animation. I wish we were animators. I would love to reanimate that scene. But it's literally just Boone, like, dragging a pregnant lady through, and Boone being like, I just don't understand. Like, where'd she come from? What are we going to do with her? Where's Ethan? That'd be hilarious.
I can just see it, too.
I know.
He's falling behind. He's got that, like, he always has that lean when he's asking questions. Yeah. Oh, man.
Boone, you sweet, sweet idiot.
God.
Anyway, so yes, very impressive though, Locke. And then they're like, of course everyone's asking questions, and Jack's like, back away, give her some air.
Which is fair.
100%.
Like,
these people are really up in each other's business.
No kidding. Hovering over the unconscious pregnant lady.
Yeah.
But the memory loss, that would be tough.
Yeah.
You were in a plane crash, although maybe she doesn't remember the trauma, which might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I was on a plane. I closed my eyes. I opened my eyes. And there are a bunch of people staring at me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
horrifying.
Interesting.
Nice.
I feel like that could have been a broader, maybe a better story point of, like, maybe this should have been Claire's episode in a sense. Because I think that would have been interesting to hear or to see actually how horrifying that would be to go through memory loss like that. And you're literally waking up to all these strangers staring at you, asking if you're okay. Like, I feel... Now that I think about it, a little robbed that we don't get to kind of get that story. Although maybe we do. I can't remember.
Well, what we do get, and what I think people will be excited to know if you're watching for the first time, I won't tell you when or how, but you are going to get the vantage point of what happened to Claire while she was with Ethan.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think that maybe plays a little piece of it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. But for now, we have nothing. We just have someone who... has no memory, and her and Charlie are still fucking cute though. Like, Charlie wanting to be her friend and saying he's gonna stay up with her, and
didn't do anything for me.
You guys are done with Charlie, hey?
It just seemed like a lot. Like, it was a very like it was very love bomby, creepy. Like,
it was like she's got no memory. Back off.
Charlie's for sure love bomber.
Like she needs some space.
What's a love bomber?
It's literally someone who's like kind of, I wouldn't say they're always, toxic or whatever, but it's a strategy utilized usually by like toxic men, either like, or women or anyone like of any gender or identity, but someone who uses like love as kind of a weapon. So they're overly affectionate. They like will buy a bunch of gifts or tell them a bunch of great things, or just kind of like constantly bombarding them with love, so that all that other toxic stuff kind of goes to the wayside or is forgotten or not considered as big a deal.
It's almost like distracting them with love to get over the
and to make them feel like they need that and like stuff like that. So Charlie, I do think, is a bit of a love bomber in the sense, I don't know that he's like,
maybe it's not toxic, but I mean, like, look at even this flashback, like right away he's going for dinner at her house. I mean, she was a little forward with being like, first date, come have dinner with me and my dad tomorrow night. But also like he takes a job with her dad like right away, like, you know, so he is very, like, even this, you can kind of sense that he's like very almost too involved, being like, yes, I'm going to be in your life 100%.
Yeah, he's really quick to bond with people and care about them. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but he there are times, and I've even thought that before, and I will certainly feel it again, that Charlie is overly invested in Claire's life. Yeah. Like, they'd known each other a month. She was gone for like 10 days of that.
Yeah.
I do believe that in traumatic situations, which they are all clearly in, that you can, like, there is trauma bonding and things like that. But he's a bit much, and he's clearly taken her memory loss very seriously.
Which is good, but I mean, like, you gotta give her some space to, like, kind of figure some stuff out. Like, it's very cute that he wants to, like, stay up with her, but, like,
I did think it was cute still.
Maybe let her process a little bit. She woke up in a jungle with a bunch of strangers. Like, let's.
So we then, I mean, the next thing that was kind of important to me was the conversation that Saeed and them have about her situation. And again, Saeed calling her the girl.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, he did it in a different episode, but it was earlier on.
It's like,
so it's kind of like, maybe he didn't. I think we talked about it before. I think Tracy brought it up, and we kind of said like, well, maybe, you know, like there's a lot of them are still getting to know each other, etc. No excuse this time.
No, you would know
just
her
saying
name.
The girl, which I don't love.
I could have done without the Charlie freakouts whenever he's in those conversations.
Every time.
Okay, but maybe I'm contradicting myself, because I was like, maybe they should involve Charlie, and maybe that was their attempt to involve Charlie, but then he just like was way too much, and then they were like, okay, you need to back the fuck off,
because he was pretty intense after.
Yeah,
like they're all just discussing very and he's like, no.
I mean, to be fair, Saeed did somewhat imply that she might be a spy or planted back
true.
In with.
Yeah, that's right.
And then essentially suggesting that her amnesia was a lie by asking Jack, you know, and he did refer to, so maybe Charlie is right to be up in arms about this, because Saeed did suggest that her amnesia may be fake and that she was
faking it because she's a plant.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to also remember though that like Saeed's the only one who was captured, tortured, held hostage by a random French woman who said that there were other people. And then all of a sudden there's another person who's not on the manifest and someone goes missing. Like, it kind of makes sense.
And also, like, Saeed seemed to want Ethan alive. I think he was going to revert back to torture pretty quick there, versus the last time we saw him when he was like...
He's learned nothing since
then.
That's fair what you're saying. Like, I agree.
I think I would torture Ethan too, though. Like, I mean, Jack was... When they were like, we have to kill him, I was like, Jack, you are a doctor. You're not really supposed to plan to murder someone. I mean, I understand that he's dangerous, but like, put him in a box, maybe like a cage.
I don't know.
Get Michael.
Cages they have.
Well, I mean, Michael could probably build one.
They should
construction. How about that cave?
Yeah, just put him in.
Throw him in that cave.
And the little playpen door in front. Then they should dig a really big hole and throw him in it.
Oh,
and then put one of those. You know how in those movies, whenever someone falls in a hole, they always have like a
bamboo screen or something.
And then they just kind of like put it over.
Yeah.
And then they're always looking up like, help.
Anyway.
I think you guys are describing something from next season.
Yes, I think so. Is it?
No, it always happens on like Pokemon and stuff. Whenever they fall in the hole.
So the point being that Saeed is slightly...
He's reverting.
He's reverting, and he's very, very, very skeptical But at the end of the day, I always forget because it's 15 episodes in and, you know, you just feel so much. They've only known each other a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Hurley said that other time, right? Like they don't know each other that well. And obviously, yeah, Ethan is good at infiltrating and she did just kind of come back with no memory, which is kind of weird. So I think they're right to be skeptical, but I think they're right to obviously want to protect her.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, they clearly go to great lengths to protect her and everybody else when they learn of Ethan's ultimatum.
Also, okay, can we just talk about how when Ethan gives the ultimatum, he picks Charlie up by the throat
Oh, my God.
and holds him there.
Yeah, so that's essentially the next kind of big important thing, right? Is I can refresh my memory before we get there. Why was he following Jin into the...
He didn't want to walk alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just walking between like the beach,
The beach
and
and
the
the
cave.
And
caves.
he learned Korean.
What did he say in Korean?
Annyeong, I think.
Oh,
Which means what?
I think it means hello. I don't know.
I think it does mean hello because in Arrested Development, when she gets the Korean boy, he says Anyan, and Lucille Bluth just thinks that's his name and calls him Anyan from now
Yeah.
on.
Oh my God. We got it from different. My coworker, my former coworker, is Korean, and he taught us how to say hello.
Okay, very
That's a more
different.
normal way than Lucille would
Like I'm pretty sure
participate in.
I learned everything from some TV show, apparently.
that was not what I expected. But you're like, this is what I do. Yeah. So I
that
thought
was
it was
cute,
I
though.
thought that was cute.
That part was fucking creepy, though.
It was, though, like the slingshot sounds. I thought there was about 100 of them. It made it sound like it was
Very
coming from
cool.
everywhere.
And Jin, superhuman hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing with Ethan is that, like, and you kind of touched on it,
He's a
when he
mutant.
grabs him and like Ethan is a straight up sociopath, but man, the guy's got skills.
Yes.
That makes him really dangerous.
Exactly. And I think they realize that. But holy, yeah, he like knocks out Jin with the slingshot.
That aim. Yoza.
I thought he got him in the head, but then it was the chest.
Yeah.
Also thought it was the head,
Because
actually.
then Jin's fixing his chest, but maybe I just didn't see it. But yeah, oh yeah, that was intense.
I think I just picks him up. I'm just like, and I'm sure like that probably triggered Charlie because I mean he was hanging by his neck
Well,
from
for
a tree,
sure.
right? Like,
Yeah. When she says her dad's going up to Slough to buy a paper company, that's a little Easter egg from the UK version of The Office.
oh, is it?
Because the paper company from the UK version of The Office takes place in Slough.
I did not know. That's really
I
cool.
also did not know that.
And that would have been around the right time. So that's hilarious. All right, Lost, we see you with your little Easter eggs. So Kate
Kate
makes
just
an appearance
pops up.
to give Jack an apple. Is that an apple?
No, this one.
I don't think it was an apple. It must have been like a guava or something because he was like kind of
It
grinding
looks
it
like
with
an
his teeth.
apple.
It looked harder than like a
Yeah.
guava.
What do you
or-
mean he was grinding it with his
Well,
teeth?
because he wasn't eating the rind. He was like kind of the pieces. He wasn't like biting it. He was kind of grinding his teeth.
Okay, well, that's probably more of like a blocking thing. Anyway, so Kate makes her appearance, her debut.
I thought she appeared on the beach when they were talking about the guns.
So hard. No, this is the guns things after this. 'Cause
Oh.
This is a conversation she has with him about
right,
because
right.
again, classic Jack.
Cake. Oh, Jack.
No, classic Jack. She's like, we need to get. I think it's time to bring out the guns, essentially. And he's like,
Oh,
I'm not
right.
arming a bunch of people with guns, that don't know what they're doing.
Okay, but I
So-
agreed with Jack there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what is everyone doing? Kate, right? This is clearly becoming violent and volatile. Do they need the guns? Because at this point, they have Ethan's ultimatum,
yeah.
right? He's threatening now to kill them. They know he's capable. So is Kate right that we have weapons that could help us and we need to use them? Or is Jack right that we're all idiots and we shouldn't have them?
Well, I think Jack's right. Because when he said more liable to shoot each other, I 100% agree with that. But when you think about it, though, there are certain people in the group who would have experience with guns. Saeed, presumably Locke, I suppose even Kate. But other than that, really nobody else should have a gun. Definitely not Jack.
And I agree with you. And I agree actually even more so with your reasoning and taking a step further, which is I think the guns are a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guns are going to ultimately continue to prove for seasons how bad of an idea they are. And for exactly what you're saying, which is they're either going to have to give them to idiots who don't know what they're doing, or they're going to have to make a systemic decision that certain people of a certain skill level in their group can have them, which is going to create two very distinct kinds of sets of people within that group. And they're essentially making themselves like a military or a police.
Oh, that's true.
And I think that's a very bad idea.
100%.
Right?
That is not an apple.
Oh my God. Let me see. Okay, wait.
Why is it so hard?
What's he doing?
I told you. He gritted his teeth.
Is that an avocado?
Maybe.
No, because it's white on the inside.
But where do you see the inside?
Like right there.
That's not the inside. That's his hand.
No, the side, like this area, like that white part.
I don't think that's the inside.
You don't think so?
Wait, if it was green on the outside and white on the inside, it could be an apple.
That's true.
Do you eat an apple like this?
Yeah, but did you see how
what
Locke
Jack
ate that
does.
orange?
Yeah.
So these people are not normal.
They're learning
They're
from
not
each
normal
other.
fruit eaters. Okay, they eat the rinds, they grind the insides. Who knows what's happening?
I just really needed to prove that this was a
Okay.
thing.
Anyway, so Teresa, your thoughts on whether having the guns is a good idea or not?
I mean, I was kind of torn because, like, I don't think that we should go around taking. We understand they're in like a very unique situation, so like you kind of have to do something, but like you don't know each other well enough. You don't know what anybody's capable of, and as we know later on, that giving guns to people who are in this kind of situation is probably not the best idea.
Everyone's so amped up.
Yeah, like it's just, you know, and then you get reactive and like, how do you imagine if Charlie had a gun and he heard and he saw Jin like being like, uh-oh, like.
Yeah, just shooting into the
Yeah,
woods.
you know what I mean? Like, it
Or
just,
imagine if Boone had a gun when Vincent was coming at him.
Oh my God.
but right, like, I mean, that's the problem. Like when you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know where it's coming from. You're already like very like amped up. Like I don't think it's a great idea, but I also agree that they have to do something.
I think they should have taken the guns and not had any ammo in it, because like Ethan wouldn't have known
True.
that there wasn't any ammo, and they could have used it to subdue him as they did, but then they would take the risk out of it. I mean, sure, if they had to try to actually shoot Ethan, it would have been pointless, but they set themselves up by bringing these guns in for something bad to happen.
100%.
So Jack ultimately is still Jack, Kate, and I guess Sawyer never found out was inside the case. So Jack and Kate are the only people that know what's in it.
And Locke now.
Or they know, I guess, because they know it's like Michael knew it was Halbert, whatever. But prior to this episode, Jack and Kate are the only people who know. And so Jack, again, unilaterally decides they're not going to bring out the guns.
Yeah.
So Locke and Saeed and everyone start putting up this like perimeter defense sentry type stations to try to keep Ethan out.
I mean, they had a lot of cans in those bags. And supposedly they had those bags like every 20 meters or so. Where did they get all these cans?
That's the thing. Like the like resources for this like didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
In the setup of the defense perimeter, we see yet again poor Boone.
Oh,
like,
Boone. Yes,
being
we
like,
have to talk about
I
Boone.
volunteer. And Saeed's like, And Locke's like, yeah, we're counting on you, buddy.
Okay, but do you think Locke was being, like, purposefully almost, like, facetious?
No, I
Do
actually
you
think
think he was
Locke
really
is trying
being
to,
encouraging?
like,
Yeah.
because Boone is so desperate to help and get people's approval.
Yeah.
It's like sweet, but also very terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's he capable of? And then he screws it up. Because he falls asleep.
Okay, I just love there's shots because you see Saeed and he's looking menacing, and then you see Locke as he's just standing there. Like,
With his stick, he's holding it like
And
a
Locke,
baseball
like,
bat.
twirls it.
Yeah,
He does that,
twirls
like,
it.
he looks
kinda-
like he is on patrol,
Yeah.
and then there's
He's just
sitting there on a
chilling.
rock with his staff and his knife, and he's just.
It's so funny because as they're going through that montage, I remember being like, okay, Boone, okay, Locke being a little menacing, and then they show Saeed. I'm like, man, this is the only person keeping them alive right now.
Exactly.
And sure enough, when they start to kind of show Boone, I'm like, oh man, here we go again. He's gonna fuck it up.
Stand up. You have a staff. Just lean against it.
So he fucks up. He falls asleep, and then he wakes up freaked out, thinking something's wrong, and he runs into the woods. But
Finds Vincent.
we get Vincent back.
Yeah.
Yay. And Saeed looks genuinely happy in that moment.
Saeed?
Yes.
Why? Because Vincent's back?
Yeah, he's like, it looks like we found someone new.
I think like another cat, one of the cats.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I
And
was
he was-
wondering
he had
why
like
he
this-
said that. I didn't get that at
I was like, what a
first.
sweet boy.
Yeah.
Man.
It,
Sweet man.
leads to
Poor
a
Scott.
very, very sad. Like at this point, like yeah, it's not a main character, or whatever, but it's still, to me, it's not even about it being sad, but it's really creepy. Like
Yeah.
I don't often, like, obviously it's very difficult for me to relate or empathize with being stranded on an island with some polar bears and a smoke monster and crazy people trying to do whatever. But in that moment, I did kind of feel their fear.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
especially when they describe who says, "Are you sure he's dead?" And they're like, yeah, his neck's broken, all his bones are broken. Like, how the fuck does Ethan do that?
I'm telling you, he's a mutant.
Yeah.
He literally just
That's weird.
it is weird. And it's a
And it is scary, right, Amanda? It's scary.
Yeah, like, and it definitely sends a message. Like, that's not a normal way for someone to, like, I feel like usually when they say, I'm going to kill someone, they, like, shoot them, hang them, and then you're kind of done.
Yeah.
This
Well-
was, like, torture.
Exactly. And it's like this idea that you can put on the
You're
best
not
defense
safe,
you
yeah.
want, and you're not. I will get through to you. I will travel the waters if I like. It's just I felt very freaked out by this.
Yeah.
And especially, like, the way Kate was, I'll give Kate this. I know you hate her. But, like, she did a really good job of conveying, like, just, it's very, like, startling, obviously, but it's also just very, like, uncomfortable. Like, the way she was kind of holding herself and she was describing it, like, she was just freaked out.
Yeah.
Not just because he died, but because
Because of them, the
whole
way,
thing, yeah.
So then we get the little kind of thing we referred to earlier where Sawyer thinks it's Steve and Harley's like, dude, it's Scott. And then we see the little Scott's funeral, and that graveyard is getting big. Like,
Only gonna get bigger.
I know.
What's our castaway count?
Oh, I don't
Down,
know.
I don't even know.
Well, this would be the only one
We had Joanna.
since Joanna. So 45 now?
But it was cute when Harley's doing the thing, and then you find out that Scott was there because he like won a
I
vacation.
know.
I was like,
Because he was top
That's-
salesman.
great prize.
Probably had a great time in
Yeah,
Australia.
the Australia part was probably fucking perfect.
Absolutely.
Like,
And then he met his
then-
best friend, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they came together. I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
so of course, though, this leads to what always happens with our fearless leader, Jack Shepherd.
Why is
He decides that he is going to freak out and turn into angry Jack leader. And now we're getting the guns.
Now,
It's time for Mardar.
you're talking about Michael being reactive. Like, Jack is very reactive.
Oh, 100%.
And it's always like, can I have a moment with you? Or like he talks like he is so aggressive.
I know.
Like the most aggressive human being that's ever lived.
Yeah, he grinds my gears when he gets in that
Me
mode.
too. Me too.
I mean, I love Jack, but those...
we know Jack lover.
Jack lover. But, yeah, it's like, okay, just tone it down about 18 notches.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially if you're going to be bringing guns into things. You really got to chill out a little.
Let's get angry. Let's get worked up.
Yeah.
And let's arm ourselves.
Let's, in one breath, say, I'm not giving a bunch of people who don't know how to use guns. And then in the next breath, be like, it's time for guns. I'm mad.
I know. It's like, hey, Charlie,
And I get it.
calm down.
Like they tried it the other way and it didn't work. But
Yeah.
like he, as per usual, Jack goes from 0 to 60.
He's,
Like-
what did he say? Because what was it? Locke says, well, as far as Ethan's concerned, we're just a bunch of scared people with sticks or something
Yeah.
along those
Yeah.
lines, right? And Jack says, well, what if I could change that or
Yeah.
whatever stupid line he says.
And then Locke's like, oh, I'd want to know how kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So that leads us to Jack showing the key. You're grabbing the key off really dramatically and taking Locke to the worst hidden briefcase of guns
Between a tree and a rock.
that ever existed.
He like moves one rocket away and I like how he's opening it and then he like looks up to make sure no one's watching. It's like, Jack, you've ruined it already.
Yeah.
I know,
It's
but
too late.
it's and he's like, I'm guessing you know how to use one of these, and of course Locke like fucking does.
Well, it's funny because we know Locke's history.
Yeah.
So far, what we know of it is that he's just a paper pusher. So there's like that moment where you're like, is he actually going to know how to use a gun? Because he kind of hesitates.
Yes,
right?
I thought the same thing.
It was funny because I'm like, maybe he doesn't know. And then he just handles it like a boss.
I thought he was trying to think back on his Weeblo experience.
Yeah, I liked when you said that.
I certainly hope that they did not teach them how to use 9 millimeters in Weebelos.
Hey, I shot a
I
rifle.
feel
when I was
like
in
they
cadets.
might. In
Okay,
the States.
it is the United States. It's
They
possible
taught us
that
how
like
to load and fire.
we were in cadets,
Yeah, but I was 12.
but
Is-
the military is like highly armed.
Is millimeter metric or imperial?
It's metric.
What are we?
We're
Canadian.
imperial.
Oh.
Or no, but
Yes,
the U.S. uses imperial.
Right.
But
We're
their
using-
military doesn't, and neither does their
Oh, that's why they're 9 mils.
yeah. So like
'Cause I was gonna ask, what
in
are
the
they here?
military, they talk in like kilometers and stuff like that.
Really?
They say like clicks, which means a kilometer.
Because
What? Is it?
everywhere else in the world uses that except for the States.
yeah,
Bizarre.
that's my understanding at least from watching Tour of Duty. Where
They do say in anytime military,
they say
it's
clicks.
kilometers or
yeah,
clicks. Yeah.
kilometers. I think it's because probably that's what most of the world uses,
Yeah.
and they just want to be able to
Keep things
Like more
consistent.
standardized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Interesting. So yeah, those Weeblo days really prepped him for this.
But I also,
journey.
it's funny that you meant, because I also noted that hesitation, and
Yeah.
I was like, is this where we like, is this the stop? Because he wouldn't have needed to know how to like load a gun.
Yeah.
And that's what it makes me think, because I'm like, okay, so a lot of the skills we've seen so far, him wanting to do this walkabout or be this like kind of like natural man, like and be able to be very capable, like woodworking and hunting and
Yeah.
things like that.
The shoe sand aloe.
Right. But
hide
there's
thing.
absolutely nothing so far that would make me think that he would need to do that. So it was like kind of like, is this going to happen? And then of course he's just like,
I like how you say there's a quest to be a natural man. John Locke's quest to be a natural man.
that's actually my thesis.
John Locke, natural man.
Anyway, all of this to say that the guns lead. So whatever, fuck it. They decide we're gonna go
Yeah.
and we're gonna get some guns, and Charlie's not allowed to come. But they're like, maybe we should have 4 guns, 4 men, leading to Sawyer, which is the greatest scene ever. I love that scene.
I do like the scene. I don't know what makes it so great for you though, because to me it's just kind of like a standard Sawyer scene.
No, it's great because of what happens when Sawyer is just like, yeah, I'll come. And then he's all like, Kate's all like, why can't I come? And Jack's like, you can't come. We don't have enough guns. And Sawyer's like, oh, is it
Oh, I
9
see what you're
millimeter
saying.
ammo?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of it?
And he
Does that
kind
have
of
an extra
sets
gun
Jack
for her?
up. Yeah.
And of course he does, because Sawyer treats Kate like an equal. And Jack treats Kate like someone that needs to be protected.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And that scene is so fun to me, because why can't she come? They do have an extra gun.
I mean, one thing I'm curious about is if obviously I'm pretty sure that's why he was like, nah. But I mean, let's all remember that at this point, Jack is the only one who knows that she's killed somebody.
That's fair. But you're telling me that even knowing that she's killed someone, not knowing how, you trust Sawyer to come?
Because Sawyer's already, he thinks he's a bad guy. Obviously, he
Yeah.
loves her.
Yeah, but I think if that were the case, if I were Jack, I'd be like, hey, I know she can be lethal. Maybe she should be coming.
And the thing is, like, and if it's because you don't trust her, then you shouldn't be trusting Sawyer either at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Then he should be taking, like, Michael.
Why wouldn't you trust Sawyer?
Because he hates Sawyer, and because Sawyer's always fucking around and being the bad guy.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know that he's killed someone. You just know that he likes to steal things.
But you also
Well,
don't know how Kate killed him.
I think he could possibly not trust Sawyer because of what happened with the marshal.
I'm just trying to give Jack the benefit of the doubt. Here you go.
Well,
All right.
you know, and it's funny because after we're doing this, he even brings it up. He's like, when they're talking, he's like, oh, you mean when you missed or whatever?
Yeah.
Like the gun we got from the marshal. It's like, Jack, you came to him asking him to come. Why are you now suggesting like he's not good enough to come?
Yeah, because Sawyer gives him attitude. as Sawyer always does.
Yeah, that's what makes Sawyer great.
Yeah, but it also allows people to react to Sawyer and be like,
well, he's like, you mean the marshal that you didn't kill or whatever?
that was a good point.
It was a good point.
No, it wasn't. Get out of here, Jack lover.
No, but it was a good point. Like, I mean, I feel like for these two, 90% of their interactions is a pissing contest.
Absolutely.
100%.
Right? Like, and I feel like
agree.
that's what this was. Like,
Yeah.
he needed Sawyer's
right
help.
in front of Claire or Kate right there.
Yeah, right? And then, like, he's like, sorry, I need your help. And then he's like, and then Kate wants to come and he's like, no. And he's like, yeah.
I know.
And then
But
it's like, well, you missed. Yeah, well, fuck you.
But I also like when Sawyer's like, I remember a polar bear who, or because you know how to use a gun. I remember a polar bear who thinks so, or something stupid like that. That was funny.
Whatever. I'm sorry. Whether Sawyer does it to show off for Kate or to actually defend her, whatever, I like his style better. I hate when Jack either. Thing is, whether he doesn't want her to come because he's scared for her or he doesn't trust her, Jack is super paternalistic.
I agree.
To Kate, and I don't like it.
I agree with that.
As the resident Kate hater, I think I really need to be taken on this point because I would not defend her willy-nilly.
I agree. Jack's very paternalistic
He is.
of Kate. And Sawyer is genuine always. He
Sawyer
is-
knows she's capable, and he's like, we need capable people. Let's just bring her.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know.
Whereas Jack always is sort of hiding how he's feeling or what he's actually thinking,
Yeah.
100%.
which is frustrating.
Totes my goats.
And again, Charlie staring. Big stare this
Charlie's
episode.
asleep in this episode.
Can we just, one thing I just have to say about his staring is, you know how whenever they go from like island to flashback, sometimes he have like a far off look or whatever. Ow, my foot just cramped up. I hated, I don't know if this was like a character thing that they wanted to do or if it was the acting. I hated Charlie's like transition
Moment.
between island and flashback.
What were they?
It just seemed very like menacing or just blank. It was like, and I was kind of like, I'm a little bit confused by like what you're like. Are you upset about what you're thinking about?
Yeah, like, are
Do
you
have
remembering it
feelings about
fondly?
this?
Are you scared of what it was? Yeah, I agree. It was sort of a misstep.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I kind of liked it because it's the first one where I felt like that's actually what was happening,
Where he wasn't sure.
where he was just actually thinking back on it.
it just, I think it was maybe just too long. Maybe, I don't know. But for me, it was just kind of like, because maybe it's because he spent so much of the episode just staring. And it just, to me, it felt weird. It didn't fit. I hated it.
Before they go, or maybe it's after, but there's at one point where there's somebody walking in. You see Hurley and Walt playing a game in the background. I thought that was cute.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's good.
I'm glad that Walt has another friend.
I know.
Locke.
So they have guns and they decide that they're going to use Claire for bait.
Charlie's pissed.
Charlie's pissed. I get Claire's point though. I would feel the same way as Claire. If no one was telling me what was going on because we saw that little scene with her and Shannon, which we glossed over because whatever, it's Shannon and it's not that important. But essentially, Claire is starting to feel
She can
that
sense.
she's the problem, right? Or that people perceive her as a problem. She's not the problem. She's done nothing wrong, but people are perceiving her as a problem. And she finds out what happened. She confronts Charlie, and now she wants to help. I would feel the exact same way.
How do you guys feel about him deciding that she shouldn't know what happened?
Well, I mean, it's also not just up to Charlie. Like someone else, like Jack or Locke or any of them could have said, sorry, Charlie, I'm going to tell her because she has a right to know. And so I don't agree with Charlie deciding that for her, but also like, it's not also just up to him.
Yeah.
Or she could have asked someone else.
I feel like because those two have like such a connection, because like I don't really see any other characters talk to Claire other than that
Jack, really.
and that Kate
Kate,
instant where they were talking about Gemini. And so I wonder if
I
it's
miss
like
Happy
that's
Claire.
why, or she was kind of happy at the end.
Yeah, I guess.
So eventually we get to the climax of the episode in more ways than one for Teresa.
Teresa
Oh my
was
God.
fucking
Oh my God.
losing
I
it.
was not losing it. First of all,
That's the best part about
that is terrible. I
No,
know.
it's
Were you
hilarious.
waiting to say that?
Oh, I've been holding that one in for a while.
Oh my God.
Unlike Teresa.
First of all,
That one just came to me.
no. What is wrong with you?
Well,
Just kidding. I mean, if you had been there for your reaction,
I was there. What do you think?
it was hilarious. So
Was it?
Yeah,
if you guys haven't gleaned what we're talking about, Claire's in the woods and it's pouring rain and we know Ethan's coming, and then Ethan emerges from the jungle and is chasing her like the fucking ring character.
We need to talk about where everybody is because
Okay,
no one is.
set the scene,
No,
Teresa.
okay, first it's raining. It's pouring rain. Saeed is in a tree. Very high up.
Wait.
But that's the most effective human as far away from the action
And
as
it's
possible.
Yeah.
Never mind that. Then we've got Sawyer hiding behind a tree in bright blue.
Yeah.
Then we have Jack. I don't know where he is or what he's doing. And then up from, I think, like a bog or a bush, we see Locke, and he's got like dirt on his face. And you can tell that he's trying to at least camo a little bit from the man who came from the water to kill someone.
These guys are such fools.
And then Ethan comes out. I have a theory.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
You guys know Among Us?
Oh,
Yeah. the
obviously,
game
we
among-
play it all the time
when
together.
you're when you're the bad guy. What is it called? The
Imposter.
crewmate.
You're the
Yeah,
imposter.
when you're the imposter, you get a special skill that nobody else has.
Yeah.
You can vent.
So Ethan is venting.
I'm sorry. There's no way. Like I get that
does-
there are like gaps in their weird formation.
Yeah.
He seems to come up from a
He
bush.
does appear to come out of the ground.
And it was that's what was so reminiscent of The Ring, because he kind of comes up and then his arms are
Yes.
kind of like
It's
coming out in a
creepy.
weird way. And like, how did he come from the water? Did he hold his breath? Did he have a snorkel? Or did he come up from a trap in the sand and then?
So what I don't like about this
like the
scene,
Viet
I know,
Cong.
you've set it up very well. I actually do think it might be like that. And I think we might find out a little bit more about that later.
Yeah.
But
Venting.
what I don't like about this is I think this shows us that Ethan is very desperate to get her back, because I don't think Ethan would fall for this. Like,
Yeah. I
she's
don't
just
either.
wandering through the
I know.
rainy
That's what I was
forest by
thinking
herself.
too. Like, why would he think?
Come on, Ethan. You're better than this.
Oh, she's just. Oh, finally, she's on a walk by herself. Why? No.
Well, I mean, she was at the spa, right? So she wasn't, because she's not on a walk. She's just standing there.
But he should have known that
It was going to be
it
a
was
trap.
going to be a trap.
Yeah.
And I think either it's just like a lazy storytelling, or, which I don't think Damon Lindelof is capable of. I think it's to show us like his level of desperation to get her back.
I think true, because if that was for, we don't really know why or how in depth, but if that was his task to get Claire, which clearly it was, now he's lost her. Yeah, he would be desperate to get her back for reasons we do learn eventually.
So all in all, to say that it leads to Jack tackling Claire.
No,
I mean, sorry, I'm
And
sorry.
then he had to deliver the baby because it was in distress.
Jack tackling Ethan and Teresa losing her mind.
she.
No, because he was vindicated. I was proud of him for finally kicking Ethan's ass after getting his ass kicked.
I don't think that's what it was.
Ethan.
It's okay, Teresa.
It was just like, he was just so
I'll be honest, I made notes
He
too.
was so shiny.
Okay.
So aggressive.
I
Ooh,
said,
Jack.
Jack.
I literally made a note. You don't stop being embarrassed about being turned
You
on
said-
by Jack and Ethan. It's okay.
I wasn't turned on. I was impressed.
No, you
Oh,
were
okay,
turned on.
you were turned
and
on.
you shouldn't be embarrassed because of the following note I made.
Because you were.
Jack,
Did you get
coming
what, like,
to
they did?
attack him even when I don't even know what this says. I got so excited. So it says
scribbles.
super hot though. I don't condone the behavior, but it's super hot.
And
It was sexy.
It was sexy.
and then the sound when Saeed came on screen was also pretty guttural.
Was it?
Yeah.
What did he
'Cause
do?
Saeed also, he's like
Just like-
rappelling down the.
Oh, the vines. Oh my God. First of all, again, we should have had him on the ground. I don't know why
Yeah,
you put him up and he had to climb.
I'm really glad they threw in that like kind of throwaway line by Locke being like, there they are. Because I was like, what's fucking taking them so long? Jack and Ethan are going at each other. It's
I
not
thought they
gonna
were
end
all in
well.
a circle.
I thought so too.
And also,
So-
like, Locke being the only one to be like, Claire, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like,
She's literally watching someone get, like, I mean,
brutally
Yeah.
beaten
he got
up.
the shit kicked
So
out of him.
a couple of notes from this is that Ethan is way too smart for this shit. So something more
Yeah.
at play, and then that Jack continuing to attack him. even when he's very much been subdued, is very hot, but very bad. Jack, it was sexy, but we don't condone violence on Let's Get Lost.
I did not.
Particularly when the person might be unconscious already.
I thought he was unconscious already.
Yeah.
And then he just kept like kind of kicking him. I was like,
I don't think he was unconscious because he was up on his knees when Charlie shot him.
See, that's what he looked unconscious, but then he was awake again. I was very confused. But
It was
let's
needless.
just say, so you got really turned on when Jack and Saeed were
Honestly,
there. But when Sawyer pulls that gun on him,
This is where
Amanda.
it really changed because his bicep
Yeah.
just like, is popping. And that
Sawyer-
sleeveless, like, ay.
But yeah, when Sawyer came on, Amanda was also feeling it.
And then he's like just rippling and
Like,
shining.
oh,
God,
man.
wet and
yeah, the rain did not hurt. Let's just say the rain did not hurt.
it enhanced.
I didn't hate it.
No.
Yeah, to me, Sawyer, super hot. Anyway, I want to make it very clear to anyone listening that Teresa and I, although are talking about how hot these men are in a violent act, we do not believe violence is sexy.
No.
And we do not believe you should be violent to impress women. It's very unimpressive.
Also, this is let's keep in mind that this is a show where
TV show.
they had, like people do not look like this when they are fighting, when they're, you know what I mean? Like this is not.
Yeah, there's very deliberate camera angles and choices made to enhance
I'm sorry, he was flexing. Like I was grateful, but he was flexing.
Just saying, it was a very exciting scene. And everyone was enjoying it.
And I was sitting there very awkwardly because it didn't do anything for me.
Well, that's disappointing. Look, again, I'm not saying it's not there's nothing sexy about violence.
No,
Never.
it was just them.
It's just the idea that like they're actually capable of doing anything, I think was what was most impressive.
Instead of being scared people's sticks,
yeah.
they like.
So good for them. And they were doing it responsibly. They were just trying to get her back. What his entirely unacceptable, horrid behavior. I don't care what his reasoning is. Ethan was on his knees.
Yeah.
He was subdued.
Held at
and
gunpoint.
Charlie kills him, shoots him several times and kills him. Like Charlie murdered Ethan today.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
They seem very forgiving of him though.
yes.
And I can understand to a degree because Ethan, for as much as they know, is a really bad person.
Correct.
Who's done horrible things. So it's not like it's even black or gray. It's pretty black and white in their minds that Ethan is bad. Really, really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Yes, would they have liked to have questioned him and found out a little bit more of where he was coming from, why he took them, all that kind of stuff, obviously. But they do seem very quick to give Charlie the benefit of the doubt when they're very, very much so less forgiving of other people for lesser things in other instances, it seems.
And I get Charlie's point about how he probably wasn't going to talk and this and that. And that he was a very bad guy and he was never going to let him near Claire again. And that the danger was ongoing to a degree. But I just think that you don't shoot an unarmed man on his knees being held at gunpoint by 4 other people.
Yeah.
5 other people.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, like I don't necessarily buy him shooting him specifically because he didn't want him to get close to Claire again or let him get close to Claire. Like, yeah, I do, but I think it would have been stronger if there was some of Charlie's own vengefulness in it.
100%.
You know, like if he was to say about all that, right?
I have a theory just now
Okay.
that the reason that he's so much more aggressive and like hell-bent on doing it is that when he wanted to, what were his words again? He wanted to like take care of Lucy, was it?
Yeah.
He was a drug addict, couldn't get it together, couldn't take care of her. And now he's clean.
Correct.
Wants to take care of Claire, couldn't take care of her. She got kidnapped. So I feel like this is like his, like, I couldn't do it when I was like strung out. I couldn't do it when I was sober. So like, I'm just going to go and like, just finish it.
Basically just any means necessary.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove that I can take care of this situation.
Yeah, because it kind of seems like it doesn't matter what the situation is. He's just failing at it.
Yeah.
Clean, not clean. He can't do it. So now he's finally done it.
In his mind, it's like, if Ethan's out of the picture, Claire's taken care of. Never mind the bigger picture of why or where Ethan was coming from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd like to think that's what it is, and that's why we had to sit through all those flashbacks.
I liked Lucy. Like, I thought she was nice, but
She was very sweet.
it was a weird flashback.
I just think it's a bad, like, I'm not saying I know what the right thing to do in any of these situations is, obviously, but I think that they are quick to violence in this small group of people.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I think they've always been quick to violence. I think that we've seen a lot of violence. And that was before they had guns. And now you've given essentially a very volatile, traumatized group of people access to very dangerous weapons. And quite honestly, this is going to be the result.
And around 100 rounds of ammunition.
Correct.
So, yeah, not going to be good.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the episode. And we're going into kind of next week's episode with
What is
less of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, not really a cliffhanger. It's more of a...
Yeah, I didn't love the end of this one.
Well, it's more just like it's a tone.
Yeah, tone.
We've set a different tone, I think, kind of going forward.
I agree. This seems like a very different tone for the series with the introduction of the guns.
Like, are we going to take it away? Are we going to, like, I don't know.
I don't remember exactly what happens with all the guns, but I remember it does cause more turmoil.
Because now I feel like people are like, well, we have guns. Like, okay, well.
Let's just go shooting more.
It's like, well, now that we know that there's a threat, what if someone comes for Ethan? Let's set up a perimeter with our guns all the time. It's like, okay, guys, all right.
It is not good news for them, what they did to Ethan.
No.
I don't remember anything.
It's definitely not.
Gonna be bad.
So there, I mean, it is a turning point because for them, I think they've solved the problem.
Yeah.
But the reality is, and anyone who's watched before knows that they have just created a bigger one.
Made it way worse.
And we will be getting into that next week. But
First, we have ratings.
Oh, yeah.
Rankings.
I would just like to have a brief honorary moment for Scott.
Of course. How many points did Scott get?
He didn't get any,
Okay.
but he is on the honors list for this episode.
Oh, okay. Good. Oh, Scott, good for you. What about Ethan?
Ethan is not on here because it's only humans on this list.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He's clear. I said he's a mutant.
Yeah,
he's
he is.
crazy.
That is unreal. All right. So at number 14, obviously not moving, Michael, with negative 1,395.
Can we pause for 1 sec?
Yeah.
What was Michael's contribution? I know he was in this, but I don't remember what he said or did.
He didn't do anything.
He was
He's
in it,
just
though.
still at the bottom.
I know, but like...
No, at when Claire came back, everybody got a cameo. Or not a cameo, but like everyone
an
got a
appearance.
shot. Yeah.
But he didn't say anything. Wow.
I think he kind of said like, oh,
What happened?
yeah, she's back. Or
happened?
Walt being there and here being like, I don't know, buddy.
I don't think.
Remember how Michael's episode was actually one of the best ones?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
So
incorrect.
crazy.
Incorrect.
Sorry, continue.
But I will say the thing that I think like doesn't make sense for this episode, based on Michael, is that anytime anything happens, he's like, I should go. I'm surprised he didn't jump in.
That's true. That's a good point.
And it was.
I think there's
weird.
okay, so before we move on, I actually think that's on purpose.
Why?
Because I think Michael's priorities really shifted in his episode. And now he's very much about getting
That makes sense.
him and Walt off this fucking island.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just saying. I don't know. That's my theory.
No, I agree.
That does actually make a lot of sense.
Because I did find it weird that he wasn't. Because when she went missing, he's like, I'd like to go. And then,
Oh, I know. He's always right there.
And then remember, he like sent him south. So yeah, no, I do agree.
Okay,
I think that's a good
cool.
theory. Anyway, then it's Shannon with negative 805. Then it's Kate, negative 620. Boone rounding out the bottom four with negative 5. Then we have Jen with 35. Walt with 205. Sawyer with 255. Side with 395. Jack with 435. Claire with 440 at number 5. Charlie at 545 at number 4. Hurley at number 3 with 765. Locke at number 2 with 820. And Sun at number 1 with 825. We're starting to
Wow.
close some
Shrink
of these
that.
gaps.
Yeah.
Except the gap between 1st and 14th is
Quite large.
about 2,100.
Do I'm just curious, like, how many points did Charlie gain or lose?
I can tell you.
Sounds like you're opening a tome.
Charlie lost 250 points.
Wow. Understandable.
Yeah, it was all over. I thought like parts of what he was doing was endearing, but then even at the end when he had like no remorse, he was just a blank expression. I was just kind of like, this is kind of weird.
We did forget to talk about how cute that little Claire scene is, though, when she's like, peanut butter. I remember peanut butter. Like...
Yeah, and she's like, why do I remember peanut butter? That was cute.
It was cute, but not enough to redeem him after
and like I
essentially
said,
shooting someone.
It really freaked me out when like Jack was talking to him and he's like, hey, and he didn't even looking at me. He's just like, he never would have. I was like, are you okay?
I actually thought that was like a good representation of okay? No, because he's probably not okay after what just happened.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I just thought that was like, Charlie just went like up and down, like. He was upset, then angry, then staring, then angry, then staring, then killing, then staring, then laughing.
All right, IMDb gave this 8.3 out of 10. So I think I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm bringing this down, actually. 7.8 out of 10. Charlie's flashbacks did nothing for me. The on-island stuff was good, but frustrating, so it probably should be lower than 7.8 out of 10, but I feel bad revising it one more time. So we'll stick with the 7.8. Not great.
I give it probably an 8. I really, the Charlie flashbacks, like you said, give nothing, and I actually think that they could have been accomplished in a much better way, and I actually think it takes away almost from his character development. But I really do like the on-island stuff. I think the Ethan storyline has been very compelling, but I also like that it hasn't been dragged on like too much. I think Lost is really good for that. And so, yeah, I'd give it an 8, and I'm interested to see what the fallout is from Ethan's death, because clearly, and I'm not sure that they've quite wrapped their heads around this, like Ethan's like truly just can't be alone on the island, and to see what the emotional fallout is for Charlie and Claire.
I'm going to give this a 7.5. Not my favorite episode. Same thing. Didn't love the flashbacks. I didn't love all of Charlie staring. I think it was just like kind of weird. The reason that it's, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would give it a 7. The 0.5.
Is that an official revision?
No. I'm explaining why it's not a 7.
Okay.
Because it was gonna be a 7, but it actually got a 0.5 bonus for
boy,
the water scenes. Jack, Saeed, and Sawyer lifted this episode for me.
Okay, and on that note, thank you so much for listening to this possibly X-rated episode.
Not X-rated.
Let's
You're the
Get
one
Lost.
who was talking about climaxing.
Okay.
Please follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page, subscribe on Spotify or anywhere you get your podcasts, and please consider joining our Patreon and supporting us so we can continue to do this for another 100+ episodes, because we love doing it, and we've discovered a new love of watching the episodes together. And of course, as always, join us next week for a new episode of Let's Get Lost, where we discuss a Sawyer Kate episode, so you know I'm gonna have opinions about it.
Many opinions will be said.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let's Get Lost. Be sure to tune in next week wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at letsgetlost.pod. Links to our website and Patreon can be found in our profiles. Join our Patreon for only $3 a month for exclusive access and content like Spoiler Island. Be sure to get lost with us again next time. Bye.
Hey. Okay.